Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle three tiny little words that can cause some of the biggest headaches in English: a, an, and the. But don't you worry, just think of it like a code. And in the next few minutes, we are going to crack it wide open together. So let's just get right to it. The big question: when on earth do you use these words? I know, it can feel totally random sometimes, but I promise you, there is a system. And by the time we're done here, you are going to have it down cold.
All right, let's start the mission. First up, we need to understand the basics of what I like to call the article code.
So what are articles anyway? Well, put simply, they're just little signposts. You pop them in front of a noun, and their one job, is to tell the listener if we're talking about a specific thing or just a general one. That's it. It all comes down to specific or not specific. And these articles, they play for two different teams. On one side, you've got the indefinite articles, a and an. They handle anything that is not specific. And on the other side, you've got the one, the only, definite article, the. And its entire purpose in life is to point to something very, very specific. So, let's start with team indefinite. It's time to decode the first set of tools in our code-cracking kit, good old a and an. Now, the basic rule here seems pretty straightforward, right? Use a before a word that starts with a consonant sound, like a dog or a big tree. And use an before a word that starts with a vowel sound, a, e, I, o, or u, like an octopus or an idea. Simple enough? But there's a really important twist. And here it is. This is the secret that unlocks this whole thing. You ready? It's not about the letter you see. It is all about the sound you hear. This one little insight completely changes the game. And check this out, because this slide proves the rule perfectly. Take the phrase, an hour. Now, yeah, the word starts with the letter H, which is a consonant, but you don't actually hear it, do you? The sound is hour, which is a vowel sound, so we use an. And the opposite is true for a university. It starts with U, a vowel, but the sound it makes is U, like the word you, and that's a consonant sound. See? It's all about what you hear. Okay, so we've got a and an in our toolkit. Let's move on to the other side of the code, the definite article, the. Its superpower is specificity. Let's see how this works in a story. Imagine you're talking to a friend. You might start off by saying, I saw a cat today. At this point, it could be any cat in the entire world. It's not specific yet, so you use a. But the second you mention that cat again, everything changes. Now you say, the cat was black. It's no longer just any old cat. Oh no, it's the specific cat that you both now know about from that first sentence. So let's just quickly break down when you're going to reach for the. First, when something is specific and everyone knows what you mean, like please pass me the remote. Second, when there's only one of that thing in existence, like the sun or the Eiffel Tower. And finally, like we just saw with our cat, you use it anytime you've already mentioned that noun before. Okay, we've talked about a, an, and the. But what about the ultimate stealth move? What about using no article at all? Let's call this the invisibility cloak of the article code. This usually comes into play when you're speaking generally, in broad terms, about plural or uncountable nouns. So, for example, computers have changed the world. You're talking about all computers as a concept, not a few specific computers on your desk. Same goes for something like water is essential for life. You mean water in general, not a particular bottle of water. But and this is the part that ties it all together, the second you make one of those general nouns specific, the jumps right back into the action. So, I drank the milk in the fridge. See that? We're not talking about milk in general anymore. We're talking about that specific milk sitting in that specific fridge. Specificity is always, always the key. All right, you've seen all the pieces of the puzzle. You've got the code book in your head. Now it's time to put it all together and see what you've got. Let's test those skills. Okay, I've got 5 questions for you. I'll read them all out, then you can pause and think them over. Ready? First one. I saw imper elephant at the zoo.
Number 2, he wants to be blank doctor.
Number 3, she read interesting book.
Number 4, can you pass me salt?
And the last one, number 5, I bought a orange and the banana.
All right, go ahead and pause here if you need a second. The answers are coming right up.
Okay, time for the big reveal. Let's see how you did. The answers are an elephant, a doctor, an interesting book, the salt, and finally, an orange and a banana. How'd you do? If you got those right, seriously, give yourself a pat on the back. You totally nailed it.
And just like that, mission accomplished. You've officially cracked the code. You now have the full framework to use a, and the with total confidence.
It's kind of wild how getting a handle on these tiny words can make such a huge difference in how clear and natural you sound, isn't it? It just goes to show you, the little details really do matter. So I'll leave you with one last question. Now that you're an Articles Pro, what's the next tiny English rule you want us to crack? Thanks for joining me today. Keep on learning,